Parents say it, finish your meal, there are kids starving around the world. Well, it may actually be time to take their advice and start thinking about what you're doing with your leftovers. What's wrong with this lemon or these oranges? Not much, right? Well, you may be surprised, but all of the produce you're seeing right here would be thrown out if it weren't for one Israeli organization called Leket. 1 billion people around the world lack access to the food they need to get proper nutrition, and it turns out 1.5 million of them live here in Israel. Now, what's crazy is that 1.3 billion tons of food goes to waste every year around the world, and most of us have seen this happen in restaurants. If you've ever worked in the food industry, you see what happens in the kitchen behind the scenes, and if you've ever gone to a party, you see how much food ends up being wasted by the end of the night.
And you know, that's only a small part.
But the Israeli organization Leket has made it their mission to solve this issue here in Israel, and now we're going to go check it out.
Let's go. Welcome.
Thank you.
Come on in.
Let's take a look at what you have to offer. This is one of Leket's distribution centers, which handles tons of the leftover produce from Israeli farmers across the country that can be used to feed people in need.
Last year, we distributed about 20,000 tons of food. So that means about
20,000
400 tons a week, which means, let's say 5 days a week, 80 to 100 tons a day, assuming 5 days a week. 33% of all food produced in Israel goes to waste. 2.4 million tons with a value of 19.5 billion shekels. It's preposterous that we hear so much about people who are hungry when we as a society are wasting such staggering amounts of food. So Leket simply says, enough, we need to figure out how to get this food.
I know what you're thinking. How is it possible that there's so much produce going to waste on a daily basis?
Okay, so let's get a sense of some of the other products we're getting our hands on. Pomelos. Now, can you tell me I just picked out one, there's a lot in there, but what's wrong with this?
Nothing.
Nothing. The answer is nothing, but it's a little small, okay? It's a little small, and that's why it's not gonna make it to marketplace. Sweet potatoes. Now this is interesting, okay? Not beautiful, right? But you know what? All you gotta do is take a knife, just cut that piece off. Will this ever get to a supermarket? Not in a million years. Nothing wrong with it. Why feed it to the cows? We can feed it to human beings. I would feed this to my kids. Here you go. You're gonna love this. I've been told that only Russians use carrots like this. Because we have a farmer we work with, and we said, why don't you donate anything to Leket? He had these carrots like this, and he said, oh, I found a market in Russia. I shipped them to Russia. Mutant cauliflower. You know why? You're never going to see this in a supermarket, right? It's a little bit, it's not perfect, right? It's a little...
But I mean, it's just more bang for your buck, right?
Yeah. No one's going to buy it. I get enough people telling me, is the food you're serving in your house from Leket? So I don't need to add fuel to the fire.
But it's not always how vegetables and fruit look that make them end up in the wastebasket or Leket's hands.
Well, sometimes the price in the market is low, and farmers have picked, some stuff has made it to packing houses, and even then, when it comes time to sell it, the truck to deliver it to the supermarket chain might actually cost them more than they're going to get paid. That doesn't happen all the time. That's still a small percentage of what's going on in the agricultural industry. But if it's 5 or 10% of the outputs, you're talking about hundreds of thousands of tons just in Israel a year where this is going on.
I mean, look at how beautiful these fruits and vegetables are. They're being thrown out by companies across the country. The amount of waste that's taking place on a daily basis is mind-boggling, and I want to take some of this stuff home myself and make a salad. Now, Leket doesn't only deal with produce. The organization also sources already made food that just didn't make it onto people's plates in restaurants, hotels, and even in the army.
We have an agreement with the army. Every army base is open to Leket, theoretically. We're in about 50 already.
Now that we've had the chance to see the food that Leket has to offer, we decided to head over to a soup kitchen in central Tel Aviv to see how this food is being distributed to those in need. Ilan is a manager of La Sova Soup Kitchen, and he says the majority of the food they serve comes from Leket.
מגיעים אלינו 500 איש כל יום. כל יום. יוצא מפה הרבה אוכל, מגיע לסביבות של 2,300 מנות. לדעתי זה חשוב מאוד, מכיוון שרוב האנשים הם חסרי ממון, וחלקם הגדול הוא חסרי דיור, מה שנקרא הומלסים. ואין להם מקום אחר לאכול. ולפחות הארוחה חמה אחת ביום אנחנו נותנים. לפחות שיהיה להם ארוחה אחת חמה. אנחנו לא שואלים ולא בודקים בציציות, מי יש לו, מי אין לו, אנחנו פשוט מקבלים את כולם.
The soup kitchen is open from 10:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. 6 days a week, and visitors can take as much food as they need. Even then, the workers here say there's still food left over.
זה ידוע. זה לא דבר סודי, כולם יודעים. ובאים גם מאפריקה, באים מכל העולם. נקראתי למצב שהייתי חייב לבוא לפה כל הזמן, כי הכסף נגמר לי פתאום. כי מה שנותנים בביטוח לקצבת זקנה לא מספיק.
This is an example of one of the daily meals here at La Sova Soup Kitchen. You can see there's rice, meat, vegetables. A lot of this food has already been prepared, and Leket picks it up from different hotels, army bases where it's left over, and brings it here to be heated up. But some of it is actually cooked on the spot with fresh vegetables and fresh meat that is provided by Leket to the soup kitchen. So you have soup, like I said, vegetables, meat, bread, basically everything that you would need for a healthy meal, a filling meal, and something that will last you for at least half of the day. It might just be time for you to start thinking about what you're doing with your own leftovers. With over 2 million Israelis living under the poverty line, there's just no reason that 2.4 million tons of edible food goes to waste in Israel every year.